Welcome to day 15 of Becoming a Solutions Architect in 60 Days Challenge. So I know by now you've heard of EC2 instances, as I've been using to disturb you within these few days. But are you aware that apart from what I demonstrated using the console, clicking on launch instances, selecting the instance type and so on, there are other ways you can get your instance running even in just a few minutes. And it's not just one. If you need to launch 10 or 100, it is possible to do them at once. Come with me. Let me take you through. Today we are going to launch EC2 instances using 6 different methods. 1 is through AWS Management Console. 2. EC2 user data scripts. 3. AWS CLI, which is the command line interface. 4. Terraform, which is infrastructure as code. 5. AWS CloudFormation, which is a declarative template. And then 6, which is the AWS CDK, which is Cloud Development Kit with Python. In each method, we are going to install Apache, which is a web server, and create an HTML file, which is the basic structure of a web page. So first, let's break down what Apache and HTML are. Apache is a software that runs on a server and listens for requests from the internet. When someone types your server's IP address into a browser, Apache responds and shows a web page stored on that server. But for this work, your EC2 instances must have a public IP address. A public IP address allows the server to be accessed from the internet. Without it, even if Apache is properly installed, no one outside your private network can see the page. It is important to know when to use a public IP and when not to. For instance, a hospital storing sensitive data, patient's data, wouldn't want to expose its system to the public internet. In that case, they would use a private IP address and only allow internal access or access through a secure VPN. But for a public website like your personal portfolio or a school homepage, a public IP is needed so anyone from anywhere can access the content. Think of it like a receptionist who welcomes visitors at your door front and hands them the right paper or brochure. In this case, your web page. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the most basic building block of a web. It describes and defines the content of a web page. It's a simple HTML file can contain text, images, links, and buttons. When you open an HTML file in a browser, the browser reads the tags and displays them as a nice structured page.